Good day, everyone. Tonight we have a special event and also a special guest. Does anyone know what's special today? Maybe you can type if you know what's special today in the column chat. Okay, just for your information, that's as we know that in January we are welcoming to Resilience Month in Koding Next. Resilience means that we need to the ability to be happy, successful, or rise again after something bad or difficult has happened. So, of course, we need to remember that when bad things happen, you should to show your strength by not giving up. And yeah, we know that we all have bad days, exhausted. Sometimes we feel exhausted, want to cry, or maybe we have some bad traumatic experience and it's hard to get up and looking for a best way to to heal. So please don't worry because in this webinar, we will get a new insights from our incredible guests who can inspire us and to be a resilient person. Okay, so tonight we have 29 participants. So yeah, are you curious with our special speaker tonight, guys? Okay, if you know who our special speaker tonight, you can type his name in the column chat below. As we see that right now our speakers are here in our Zoom meeting right now, and yeah, you can see the pictures too. We have Marek Kamiński. Marek,
Hello, you.
hello, sir. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Nice to meet you. Great to
Okay.
meet you tonight.
Nice to meet you too. So, guys, tonight we will hold an exclusive webinar with our special guest. Our speaker right now is Marek Kamiński. He is a police innovator and the first person in the world to conquer the North and South Pole in the same year without outside assistance. Wow, I think it's such an extraordinary and incredible achievement. So, maybe you can give applause reaction in the Zoom for our special guest, guys. So, please. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, today's discussion will be guided by our host, Mr. Bartek Wasik, as CEO of Coding Next. And anyone who wants to give a question, you can ask in the column chat below. So, yeah, I think you are curious and wants to know more about what will we do or what will Marek Kamiński shares about his experience. So please welcome Mr. Bartek Wasik and Marek Kamiński. The time is yours.
Good evening, Indonesia. Good evening, Jakarta, Bali, Sumatra, and other places in Indonesia. But also good evening, Singapore. We've got some people listening from Singapore as well. So before Marek will go through his presentation about resilient mindset and the importance of resilient mindset in school for you students, but also in career for the parents, I would like to quickly just introduce Mr. Kamiński. So Mr. Marek Kamiński is an incredible person because this is your homework, guys, after this webinar. Go on Google, go on Wikipedia, check Marek Kamiński's website, and you will be able to learn that this gentleman in the middle of 1990s, I think it was 1995. Marek, was it 1995 or 1994?
Yes, it was 1995 and
Yeah,
96.
1995. I was a 16-year-old teenager going to high school. And then we learned on television that there is a Polish person who, as a first person in the world, got to the North Pole and South Pole in the same year without any external help. So we've watched, the TV news and updates about both of your trips. And, since my teenagehood, I wouldn't call it childhood, but since my teenagehood, I was always very, very aware of your great achievements. After those two trips to South and North Pole, of course, you've achieved other incredible things. You've gone on a long walk in Australian desert, and then you took an electric car from Europe to Siberia, I think. Yeah. So I think this incredible mind of explorer has always been with you. And today we are very privileged that you will be talking to us about resilience. So before I give the floor to you, Marek, January in Koding Next is a resilience month. This is our theme. Please download our resilience ebook. You can learn together with your parents, or parents, you can learn together with your kids about why resilience is important in 21st century education, but also in 21st century life. And today with Marek, we will be learning a little bit more about how not to give up, how to get up after we fall down, when we face failures, when we question ourselves if we are able to do certain things, if we are able to survive, if we are able to carry on with, maybe school, maybe work, maybe career. What do we do in such moments? So today, Marek will be sharing his experience, his tips, and he will be talking to us about resilient mindset. So welcome to Koding Next. Marek will be talking to you about his project, Resilient Mindset. And then, of course, at the end of his presentation, if there are any questions about today's presentation, but also anything about his explorations. And in the future, if you have any questions about projects that Marek is involved in and that we will be involved together in Koding Next and with Marek and his foundation, you know where to find us on our social media, and you can approach our staff. So welcome to Koding Next. Welcome to Evening of Resilient Mindset with Marek Kamiński. Marek, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you, Bartek, for the introduction. Yes, it is great to meet you tonight and talk to you about mental resilience and about resilient mindset, and how the resilient mindset is important in turbulent times we live in, and how to stay strong. As I understand, you are parents and people who are interested in resilience. So of course I could start with my expeditions and with introducing my achievements, but I wanted to start with the data. So this is like the world data about the mental disorder among young people. So as you see from the statistics of World Health Organization, 1 in 7 young people aged 10-19 are experiencing a mental disorder, and 13 of all diseases in this age group are mental health related, and 28 of respondents aged 10-19 say they have no desire to live. I was in Jakarta a couple of months ago, and I have lectures also in Jakarta at university, and I met some people who were a witness of suicide of their friends, and as I understood from talking with these young people and university students, there is a huge problem of depression and mental disorder in Indonesian society. I just have the exact data about Indonesia, for example, about depression. So the national prevalence of depression among young adults in Indonesia was reported to be 29.3% for moderate and 8% for severe depression. Depression was higher in the males, almost 30%, than the females. So of course, depression. The depression is a big problem. It's not only because of this mental disease, but it's a big problem in education, because if you have depression, you have no motivation to study, you have no motivation to live, you have no motivation, you have no meaning of the life. So the same problem, just if we are in the data, the same problem is among adults. For example, approximately 60% of employees indicate that 2020 and 2023 was a time of deterioration in the mental health condition, and 20% employees they report mental health problems also, and they have been used mental health support within the past years. So also according the data, the mental resilience will be the deciding factor for humanity to survive. So we are living in the times where depression by 2030 will be, I think, it will be the most the disease, the number first disease in the world, and we will have to overcome this problem, and just pharmacology is not enough. So I think that the best thing to have to be in mental health, to be resilient, and to keep mental health is prophylactic. So if you really have depression, it's not easy to get out, even with pills and pharmacology. It's a long process, and then there's bipolar disease, and there is many diseases. They are lifelong, and you cannot just treat them with the pills. So I think the best thing is prophylactic. So the programs that will teach your children or yourself how to keep mental health, how to avoid burnout, how to be resilient. And couple of words about me, how I became resilient, and what I know about resilience. So my experience, my background is philosophy. I am from the education. I am philosopher and physics. So, but I am also polar explorer. I did a lot of extreme expeditions to the end of the world. I was in many life dangerous situations, and I survived the things that I shouldn't survive, maybe. So my life was quite turbulent with the different projects. And just to give you some tips, like, but you can also check it in Wikipedia or by searching by Google. I was the first human that reached two poles in 1 year, the North Pole and South Pole, on skis in 1 year, unsupported. It was 95. I went 700 kilometers pulling the sledge and all the equipment in the temperature minus 70 up to minus 70 degrees Celsius. 770 kilometers. It was 72 days under frozen Arctic Ocean. where the bottom is 4 kilometers down, and where you practically you go on the surface of the ice and frozen frozen ice, so the ice can break and you have open leads with the water. You can fall down in the water and drown. So it's like constant life danger. You can also meet the polar bear, who is kind of the lion on the icy desert. And if you meet polar bear on the Arctic Ocean, there is a question who will eat whom. But of course, the polar bear is a very powerful animal, and yes, you can lose your life very easily. And there is many different kind of danger situations and risky situation. And yes, and practically during this 72 days expedition to the North Pole, you can lose the life in every second, on every minute. Also sleeping in the tent in the night, because the expedition to the North Pole is like pulling the sledge with 150 kilograms of equipment, food and fuel to melt the water from the snow. And you sleep in the tent. They are the winds up to 200 kilometers per hour, and the ice breaks. Sometimes there are leads up to 2 kilometers or 5 or 20 kilometers. The ice moves also. It's a moving life with the drift and the power of the wind. So sometimes you can walk for 10 kilometers, and because the wind is pulling you down with the piece of the ice you are in, you can be like, at the end of the day, you can be 20 kilometers farther from the North Pole that you started. Anyway, the North Pole and South Pole, they are the most farthest points in the world, and all the Earth is turning around the poles. Even now we are turning around this axe. Yes, but for me, this expedition to the North Pole, and later on, the same year, and I was the first, and it was a Guinness record. The same year I went to the South Pole, where it's completely different situation, because on the North Pole you are on the sea, walking on the ice, and in Antarctica, going to the South Pole, you are on the continent, 3 kilometers high. The Antarctica is the highest continent in the world, with the average height of 3,000 meters, where is the lack of oxygen, and the temperature goes down to almost minus 90 degrees Celsius, and there are the winds up to 300 kilometers per hour. So yes, I survived once the storm with 277 kilometers for 3 days, almost 3 days. And my only protection against this storm was a small tent. The weight of the tent was 2.5 kilograms, and like 3 poles and piece of material. And yes, I'm always joking that I survived the storm with my willpower. But anyway, it was 1,400 kilometers walking to the South Pole alone with the storms, and also because the continent is 3 kilometers high, the ice breaks, and you have the crevasses in the ice. They are 200 meters deep, and the crevasses, they are covered with the snow bridges. So you can lose your life by breaking snow bridge and going down with all the equipment. and many people died and trying to get to the North Pole and South Pole. Yes, there were many expeditions. With even in the last year, last years, I remember that was about, for example, the English expedition, the guy who was from SIS, Special Eye Service, and he tried to traverse Antarctic continent, and he died from exhausting and yes, some inner injuries. But of course, this is the like a kind of mental thing, because pulling the sledge 150 kilograms with a weight of 150 kilograms for 2 months with no referring points is just white out. Everything is more or less white, and there is no mountain. There is no obvious point like the lighthouse where you were going. You just it's like a very mental thing to keep motivation against obstacles, to keep motivation against to be tired, exhausted. By the way, I lose 30 kilograms of the weight by the way to the South Pole or North Pole. So when I started, my body weight was 90 kilograms, and when I end, it was like 60, because even I have eaten almost 8,000 calories a day, which is a lot. You can imagine maybe 8,000 calories. Normally you eat maybe 1,500 or 2,000 calories a day, but 8,000 is really for the elephants. But because of the cold and all the effort, energy you need, even I ate 8,000 calories, I lose almost half a kilogram of the body weight a day. So this is very exhausting thing. But I remember that it was more mental power that allowed me to get to the North Pole and South Pole. That physical, my body of course was trained. I have a special training and a lot of exercises, marathons, running, swimming, pulling the tires, and different things. But at the end, this is the head, not the legs, are pulling you towards the North Pole or South Pole. So just to make a quick review of my expedition, when I was 14 years old, I went alone to Denmark from Poland. When I was 15 years old, I went to Africa. It was my first. I was alone without parents with the cargo ship to Africa, to Marok, and then with the 16 years, I traveled across all the Europe. When I was 17 years old, I hitchhiked or traveled around across most part of Asia. And then when I was 20, I went to Mexico, and I met two jaguars between Guatemala and Mexico. And then with 29, I crossed Svalbard, Spitsbergen, and I was also the first Pole who crossed Greenland Island. And then with the 31, I was the first man in the world who reached the North Pole and South Pole without external support. And then I met many other expeditions, like going across desert, the first crossing of Gibson Desert in Australia, first going across Asia with the electric car from Poland to Japan and back. But I think the most interesting or the most powerful expedition for me was expedition with disabled boy to the North Pole and South Pole. In 2004, I went with Janek Mela, who was 14 years old when we started the project. And when he was 15, we went together after 1.5 years of preparation. We went together to the North Pole and South Pole. So to prepare, he lost his arm and leg in the accident. He was hit by electricity by 15,000 volts, and then after this accident, his leg and arm was amputated, and he was in depression after the accident. He lost also his brother couple of years before that, and we were thinking with our friends how to help him, how to give him back the meaning of life, how to make him believing that his dreams has value, that he can climb his own Everest or reach his own poles. So the idea was to go with him to the North Pole and South Pole, and to train him, to give him the tools for overcoming the obstacles, for motivation, for overcoming depression, the tools for believing in himself, the tools that he believes that his life has value, and also the tools how to make the dreams possible, or how to make impossible possible. So by expedition to the South Pole and North Pole was the learning process. It was by preparing to this trip, we learned him how to define the goals, how to plan the way to the goals, how to overcome obstacles, how to deal with failure and success, and then in the end, how to know yourself. And on the basis, because this expedition was successful, after this process, after this preparation and expedition, Janek Mela became another person. His life completely changed. He went later on Kilimanjaro in Africa. He ran a New York marathon. He traveled around the world. He hitchhiked in Vietnam and Cambodia, and now he is a happy father with 3 children and happy family. So yes, this project was very successful, and the name of the project was Together to the Poles. And as a philosopher, I understood that it was expedition for him was transformation process. So I started to think how to make this process, how we can scale this process, how to make the polar trip without the poles, because the trip to the North Pole or South Pole is dangerous, is expensive, and so we started to work on transforming this expedition experience to the process that we can repeat in the schools, or we can repeat with the young people in the normal cities, normal villages during the workshops. So we discovered this method, that Polaris method, that Polaris, because Polaris is the star who can you can follow, is always there. So it's like a big goals in the life, or like the poles. So the method is about about it's about life. It's about education. It's about work. It's about projects. It's about business also. So the 5 steps of this method is the first step is discovery of pole. So about defining the goals, poles or short goals like education, to get to the university, to for example, to have a happy vacation, or it can be everything, the goal, and then the roadmap, how to plan the way to the goal. Then the step number 3 is executing the plan, how to have motivation, how to balance the energy, how to keep resilient, and then about dealing with success and failures, and 5, the most important thing to get to how to get to know yourself. So to make the story short, in my case, I think because what is the mental resilience? What is the resilience? Resilience is the ability to adapt to the changing world. So, like resilience for the body is ability to adapt to viruses and to different things that can be dangerous for your body for your immunization system. But generally, resilience is about adaptation to the changing world, and because now the world is changing so fast, so many people they don't follow. They don't have the tools how to copy with all this information, how to copy with lack, for example, of referring points. They cannot repeat the life of their parents. They know that in 5 or 10 years, the jobs can be different, and they scary. They have fear. The resilience is also about overcoming the fear about the life, the fear about the life of your children, and of course there is because the change is causing also the fear, because you don't know how you copy with the change. So there is many problems and many issues how to build resilience of individual people, of leaders, teams, and organization in the times of uncertainty. As the foundation, as Kamiński Foundation and Kamiński Academy, and basis all of this experience, we build solution like workshops, programs, and also application in order to build mental resilience for children, for young adults, and also for adults and for parents. So in the app is now in the Polish, English, and Ukrainian. You can we share, of course, this presentation, and you can download the app with the QR code that you see on the right side from the Apple Store and Google Play. And the app is free, and the app is like bonus for is a integral part of the process of the work. So the part of the process is during the workshops. During the workshop that we want to make together with Koding Next in Indonesia, in the small groups, or also we can make it online. We have different exercises, different small portion of knowledge. So step by step, we teach young people the good practices, how to build the resilience mind and resilient body, because mind and body, they are going together. You can not separate them. So sometimes to build you need a mind to build a resilient body, and you can build also resilient mind with by exercising the body. So that there is we have many exercises and many lessons about this. Also, what is interesting, we are working with scientists, with psychiatrists, psychologists, and of course the basis for the programs, the storytelling or the examples are from expedition and from the different projects from my life, but also we build this program. The name of the program is Lifetime Academy. So we build this program with psychiatrists, psychologists, and we built also the diagnostic tool, tool about resilient. So the name of this tool is Resilience Index 360, and in 120 questions, and with 12, I would say, scales or competences, we are measuring and giving the report about your mental resilience. So we have different version of this diagnostic. The basic version is for adults and for young adults and for kids. That we have different version for the kids from 7 to 14, and then we have this diagnostic for sports, coach, survivor, recruiter. Also, we have special diagnostic for teams or for group of the people, and yes, this diagnostic is very innovative, and you can try it by yourself, because after the lecture, after the conference, we will pass you the access to this, and this is, for example, the some of the pages from the report. The diagnostic will be also, this is, I see this is the Polish version, but it will be also available in Indonesian and English, of course. So what is on the scale on the left side, there is a proactive meaning of meaning of your life: optimism, stress, toughness, psychological toughness, and feeling of your ownership of the process, the ability of controlling your mindfulness, ability of making a dialogue with yourself, and integrity, and the last is visualization. And yeah, this is on the right side. You can have, for example, we can measure the diagnostic before the process and before our workshops, and before the process and after the process. So we have also many digital tools for building resilience. Altogether, we have identified 54 different products, and and processes and tools for building mental resilience of youngs and adults. So we also, as kind of kickoff, we also make we also invite people to mind power walks, and more than 500 participants have taken the part in this mind power walk. The mind power walk is in the city like Jakarta, for example, or in Poland. We last year we had I think seven power walks with 200-300 people, 200-300 people participating, and we raised more than $100,000 for the Lifetime Academy workshops that then we deliver free for children, and 2,500 children finished the Lifetime Academy in Poland last year, and we have 3,600 users in the Lifetime app. In Kamiński Academy, which makes a program for adults, we work with big companies like Nestle, Pricewaterhouse, telecom companies, and we make processes like diagnostics and workshops and input and output test. So I hope that together we can build everyone's resilience, and I hope that we can work with Koding Next in Jakarta starting from this year, and making together the workshops and delivering the diagnostic and processes for Indonesian young and adults. So thank you for attention, and if you have any question, I think this is a good time to have a small discussion on to make a Q&A.
Okay, Marek. So yeah, thanks very much for sharing the experience with us, also presenting all these very interesting tools. In Koding Next, we always believe that, okay, learning coding is one thing, but yeah, dealing with your mind, that's another thing. So that's why we've guested before David Tomala, the gold medalist from Tokyo Olympics. Now we're going to collaborate with Marek and his team, to check on resilience on our students, to improve the resilience on our students, but also to make sure that all of us actually, go through the tests, learn about ourselves and learn how to be more resilient, because yeah, all of us are facing challenges in life. COVID was a very difficult period of time for all of the people, for students, for parents, for employees, teachers. So tools like this, we are always very, very open to learn, promote together, and let Indonesian audience to actually learn about it. At the end of February, Koding Next, we'll be having our second Koding Next Summit, where we invite almost 300 schools from Jakarta and area to actually come for our conference. And I know that Marek will be visiting us in February, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
The end of February.
Yeah, the end of February. So this will be his another visit to Jakarta. So definitely we're starting a fruitful collaboration together. Because as I said to you, sometimes when you make code, sometimes when you learn, you feel like giving up. Having this mental strength and having those tools that will teach you to actually stay focused and don't give up, or maybe give yourself a little bit of time. these tools are very, very important. You know, it's a blessing nowadays that kids and teenagers can have these tools. When I was growing up, when you were growing up, Marek, we didn't have these tools. We were just told by our parents, okay, you know, bide your tongue and do your best. But we didn't really know how to sometimes deal with the pressure and, you know, all the studying and later on work. So yeah, thanks very much for your presentation. There will be definitely more information coming after this workshop. Please download the app, have a look on, you know, what activities are there, what you can learn from it. You can rewatch this webinar later on YouTube. And of course, there will be more and more materials from Kamiński Academy coming through Koding Next very soon. Okay, guys, do you have any questions? Anything that you would like to ask Marek about? Okay, we've got questions from, I think it's Ian. I'm interested in studying the 5-step Polaris method. Can I know who is the founder? Okay, founder of this theory, so I can Google it on internet. Thank you, Mr. Marek. So,
Yes,
Marek,
that's me. The Polaris method, another name is the Pol method. But yes, you can study, you can Google it, like Marek Kamiński method or Polaris method or Lifetime Academy. You can, of course, study this in internet. And yes, I am the founder of this method, and I use this method since like 20 years. And this method is also used in business. In Polish language, it's a biegun method, but yes, we started now to introduce to introduce it into the international market. And there is a book about this method. The name of the book is Power for Change, the art of reaching the goals. So this book, I think, is available in Amazon, and this is the best source to study this method, and also, of course, in the application, and we have also digital programs which will be soon available in English.
Okay, thanks. Julia is already sharing this. Okay, I've got a question from myself, Marek. If you were, okay, I know it's very difficult to compare, but okay, which one was more difficult, North Pole or South Pole? I know that they're very different. You've already mentioned it, but can we at least get your observation, how different they are, and can you actually compare and tell, okay, one of them was more difficult?
I think the most difficult for me was the North Pole, because it was the first, and always to make a first the thing the first time is more difficult. And the South Pole was for me the second pole, is in same year, so I have a good training. But the South Pole, the North Pole was very tough, because it was like living animal. It was always moving, always never static, never. It was always floating ice, or jumping from one piece ice to another, and yeah, so it was very difficult. And also this constant danger of life from the polar bears. The South Pole was more majestic and more silent, but of course it was also very dangerous because of the crevasses and the katabatic winds. And but the North Pole, because was the first, was maybe for me. There's many things that I had to learn. It was to go to the North Pole or South Pole was like to jump from the kindergarten to the high school. So it's a big step, and you have to learn very quick. But if you are in the high school, you can eventually not be promoted to the next year. But this is the price you can pay. But for mistakes, but on the way to the North Pole, the price that you eventually have to pay for mistakes was your life, because if I would be mistaken with some decision, I would be not alive. So I have to be very careful, and yes, and yeah, it was very difficult anyway.
Okay, we've got some technical question here. So later on, my team, please follow up with Iburiana. Okay. Eric has questions. How did you mentally and physically prepare for such an extreme journey to the North Pole? What was your preparation like?
So in fact, the mental and power preparation and mental and body preparation for me was all my past expedition. Every expedition was kind of training and learning. So by doing the expedition to Greenland and crossing Greenland, crossing Svalbard, meeting two jaguars was the lessons how to deal with the fear, etc. But the specific training for the North Pole and South for the North Pole trip, I think I have wrote it in my book, but it was like maybe running 20 kilometers four times a week, running 20 kilometers, it's like a half marathon, and then pulling the tires. You have the like car tires. So we have no snow all the year in Poland, but in order to prepare your body, because you have to pull the sledge with 150 kilo or even 200 kilograms, and it's very heavy. The snow, for example, in the Arctic Ocean, the ice is like a sand almost. It's not like ice in the TV show or in the Disney movies. It's not like a mirror. It's really tough to really exhausting to pull the sledge. So in order to imitate the sledge, I had the 4 tires behind me, and I pulled these tires in the beaches of the place where I live. And when I met people, I said that my car is not far away, because it was, of course, strange that the guy is pulling the tires. It's not normal to pull the tires behind you with the harness, and the tires were in the line, in the row behind me. So the pulling the tires like twice a week for 2-3 hours, and then swimming twice a week for 1.5 hour, and and maybe twice a week the fitness gym, the heavy weight lifting, etc. Working with the body, and so it was more or less the training. So altogether, I would say it was maybe 30 hours a week or something like this. But I have a normal work. I was working. It was during the weekends and before or after work.
Yeah, so it's like your preparation was just another full-time job, pretty much.
But in my time, in these times, it was not the factor of the mental preparation was not so important. But I think that during studying the books of other explorers like Scott, Shackleton, Amundsen, Nansen, it was giving me the idea of mental problems also. And the things that helped me a lot was visualization. So it was like kind of mental training that I tried to visualize all the way to the North Pole, like from the point 0, from the start to the end. So like every situation, I try to imagine, and I try to be to immerse in the to have immersed in the situation. So the difference between visualization and contemplation is like contemplation is the next step, that you feel the situation. You are not in the situation, but you are feeling like with all senses the situation. So I tried to make this to build the scenarios. Like, for example, I am falling in the water with the skis and all the equipment. What I do, how I get. So I tried to really uh, to have this feeling and emotions and the visualization of the situation, so I can visualize the problem, and I can also visualize the solution, how to get solution for the situation. Like when, for example, my primus breaks and I cannot melt the water from the snow, or what with if the pole from the tent breaks from the wind, or if the skis breaks. There are many. However, I had 150 kilograms of equipment. My equipment was very limited. I have no spare underwear, for example. So when it happened that I fall in the water by minus 30 or minus 40, and I was lucky to get out from this. So I was completely wet. So I have to take out of all the clothes and wait 10 minutes until it froze, and then take the ice out and to continue. So yes, it was this kind of mental preparation, visualization, give me the mental power to survive.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good tip about the visualizing what if scenarios. What if something happened? What am I gonna do? Okay, just the last question. There are a couple questions from Debbie and from Redian. So it's basically, it talks about mental focus, but also how do you trick your brain? How do you trick your mind when you are about to give up, when you cannot focus? What do you do, to get back?
Yes, I use different tools kind of meditation. Like for example, I have counted up to from 1 to 1,000 to have a focus because sometimes the thoughts, they are not important. Like you are thinking, but the thing is just the rubbish. Your brain is the like machine to produce the sentences and to think, but not everything that is produced by brain is worthy. So sometimes instead of thinking, it's better not to think, to make a break. If you are in the fog, like mental fog, and you don't know what to do, so sometimes it's better to make an empty space, to have a break, and then come back. So I use meditation. I use also the scanning, or I try not to think. Like I try to focus on my breath, for example, also only on breathing, and then I have some sentences that help me, some words. They are like amulets, yes, that I know. It's like you have to play with your mind and see for results. So I know a lot of a lot of poetry, a lot of songs, and so I just play at these songs, or play at these movies, or some words or sentences, and it helps me, like because there is a power in the words or power in the sense. So I know that it will work like this. So in the hard situation, I use these words or these sentences. So basically, this is the play that you play with your brain, with yourself, and of course, it's good if you make exercise before, like every day you can make exercise. Yes, like talking with yourself. And I think the best tip for me that there is like to know yourself, because the real power is in ourselves. And if you cannot find the power outside, if you cannot have the power in your body, on if you cannot find the on the surface of your mind, you have to go deeper. And the same big world that is outside us, the same is inside, but we are only on the surface of the thoughts. So to go deeper is like to go in the water. Yes, if you to go like 30 meters down to make scuba diving, you need preparation. It's not easy. Yes, you think that it's only Black Sea, but it's dark. But if you go deep, you can find a lot of things under the water, under the surface of the water. And the same is with our mind and that there is a deeper mind. There is also a subconscious mind, and to explore the real power is in our subconscious mind. So to explore our subconscious mind and is very important. So I like the sentence of Carl Jung, who said that what you accept is giving you power, and what you contradict is managing you. So it's really nice thing to think about, like what you can accept. Normally we think opposite. We are contradict a lot of against different things in the world, and they are somehow managing us. But yes, for example, this sentence is important. So what you accept, it gives you power. So if you accept cold, if you accept the bad situation, if you accept this, you can lose your life. It gives you power. If you contradict it, it's like managing you. So you are afraid, and you just you cannot move forward. Yes. So this
Yeah,
is short.
yeah, fantastic. Marek, thanks very much for your time. We will definitely, be in touch, and I'm pretty sure this is not your first and not the last webinar with us.
Yes, and
And-
somebody asked about the sales. So I would say sales is a long run. It's not a short run. So one day, no revenue is no problem. You should accept it.
yeah, yeah.
This is
So keep it,
then Anida Parahita. So this
yeah,
is my
maybe it's a long run. We all have
yes.
one or two bad days. Just think about a week or a month, and then things gonna be good. Yeah, so thanks very much, Marek. Thanks very much to your team, and thanks very much to all the participants. Yeah, this webinar will be on YouTube, so you can rewatch it. But yeah, use the mobile app, check this app, learn together with Marek, and if you have any questions, approach Coding Next team, and we will let you know more
Yes.
information about how to learn with Marek and his academy. So thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, everyone, for your time. Thank you.
Thank Julia for support, and try our diagnostic and try our tools.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you very
very
much.
much.
Okay,
Thank you.
well,
Terima kasih.
terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Sama-sama, Mr. Marek. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bartek and Mr. Marek, for a great discussion. This time was running so fast. If we see that our participants are very excited to have you and want to ask you questions more and more, looks like 1 hour isn't enough, yeah? Honestly, I'm speechless after hearing your explanation regarding the struggles you face in the North and South Pole, about how you lose your weight, about how you maintain your physical and mental health, about how to deal with the icebergs and extreme temperatures without external support. Even you saw many people who died because they could not survive there. I just want to say that you are amazing. Actually, it's an honor for us to be able to discuss and hear your experiences directly about how to conquer the North and South Pole outside without external support. And so, for those who are late, join this webinar, I want to give you a wrap up. The important one, which is the key, as Mr. Mark said, that we have to know that our strengths are believe that you can get through it, and of course, a good preparation. So there are also 5 pillars method, like discover your pole, road map, the road is important, and get to know yourself. And how to build resilient mindset is adaptation to changing the world, because as we know that today is the world changing so fast. And yeah, so please you can check the life plan apps by Kamiński Foundation and Kamiński Academy, because together we can build everyone's resilience. If you want to know more about Kamiński Foundation or Kamiński Academy, you can reach Zepitani at kamiński.pl via email. And you can also download Resilient ebook on our website Coding Next. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Coding Next to get more information, not only about learn how to code, but another exciting webinar and even or promos. And of course, this webinar will be on YouTube, so you can watch it. And after this, we will send you the learning materials from Marek, so you can learn it more depth. And you can also download Life Plan apps by Kamiński Foundation. And of course, you get each certificate after this. And once again, I want to say that thank you very much for your time, guys. But maybe before we ended this webinar, let's take a photo together with our special guest. And for those who are still turn off your camera, please you can turn on your camera right now. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. Uh okay, our team documentation will help us. So you can smile and say cheers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and okay, cheers. Okay, thank you so much once again. Thank you so much, Marek, for this opportunity. For those who are
Sama-sama.
still, yeah.
Sama-sama.
Sama-sama. Thank you so much. Terima kasih. Hopefully we can have another webinar with you or any special occasion with you. And thank you so much, Mr. Bartek, for the exciting webinar right now. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Have a good day and see you on the next event. Thank you.